Hello, everyone. I'm Chester44, also known as Fly, and welcome to this Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity. Last episode, we took a look around the marketplace, went and dealt with Pernisk, who turned out to be replaced by someone, and stopped a whole Svephering going on in there, and stopped a bunch of thieves who were planning to thieve someone. We should probably report in to the guy who was going to be thieved. Anyway, now, since we happen to be here, let's take a look at Admeth's den. See what's going on in here. Alright, let's take a look.
Mercenaries. All fancy weapons and no skill.
I'm pretty sure I had the mercenary background, didn't I? No, I had the colonist background. Never mind. Oh. A well-groomed man steps through the hall with a confident swagger, a smug grin etched on his face. He's flanked by 5 other hard-working individuals. One of his companions eyes you for a moment before spitting chew at your feet. Another pup come wandering in, I see. Just know that Bine's giant slayers run things around here, and you'll be fine. Never heard of him. His eyes narrow. You have now. Stick around Defiance Bay and you will again. Plenty of bounties to go around, but there's a reason the Giant Slayers get the lion's share. Remember that. A voice bellows across the hall. Enough jabber, Bane. You gonna do the job or talk about it? His jaw tightens. Wennen's right. That coin ain't going to collect itself. He looks at his comrades and jerks his chin toward the door. See you around, pup. Interesting.
Don't stand on ceremony. State your business.
This rough-looking man glances at you briefly as he scans the mercenaries milling around the room. Tell me, I'm looking for work.
Go see Osric. He's usually got something. You do well for him, maybe I can find you more.
He looks you up and down. Finally, he points to a man leading drills. Tell me about the dozens. Wennen's expression becomes serious, the timbre of his voice deepening. Good men and women trying to walk in the footsteps of great men and women who came before us. We're a loose association of warriors and expeditionaries in the Deerwood. Not as fancy as the Crucible Knights, mind you, but at least we remember our roots. At least they remember someone else's roots and pretend to be like them, he means. Your roots? The Crucible Knights take pride in having won the Deerwood's freedom 150 years ago, but we're the ones who protected it. Everyone knows that the Saints' War ended when the Godhammer destroyed Widewind at Evandale Bridge. A lot of folks don't know how Widewind wound up on that bridge. 7 men, 5 women. They walked out of Halgot Citadel and faced down a god, held him there until the bomb went off. He thumps the table. That's the legacy we defend. Some call us mercenaries, but we don't need matching armor and silky cloaks to remember our roles. We're the same now as we were then. We stand up for the people. First line of defense, whatever it takes. We got new enemies now. If it's not Widewind, it's Stand Legacy. It's the damn Soul Butchers in Brackenbury making things worse on all of us. Probably causing the whole thing one way or another. Well, we haven't gone anywhere, and there's a lot more than 12 of us now. We defended Deerwood once, we'll do it again. Wennen casually nods your way. His eyes continue to float from mercenary to mercenaries as he speaks. What else do you need? Nothing else, thank you. Daggers mark the locations of various Anguithan ruins. Notes posted around the map list bets on current expeditions.
I can do that. That's settled.
Well, there's this Osric. I guess he's the one giving out jobs, then? Keep your guard up or I'll give you something to guard, damn you. The edges of these swords have been blunted for practice. Someone scrawled Commander Cliver across this dummy in chalk. Arrows are for practice in the Expedition Hall only. Purchase weapons for personal use from Sonild. No exceptions. Osric. Have you even held a weapon before? Put some weight into that swing. The outer bands of his target are pocked with countless holes.
For the last time, Aidwig, keep your fucking blade up! If that dummy was armed, it'd have your head off.
The man watches the training adventurers with the disinterested contempt of someone whose skills are wasted in this setting. He barks at one of them. I need to hire an adventurer. Maybe more than one by the look of you. I'll show you who's available. Tell me about the expedition hall. It's treasure hunting, plain and simple. Sponsors put up money, hire adventurers to explore the wilds, looking for ruins mostly. If they come back alive, they split the spoils. If not, it's because they handle their weapons like this lot in front of me, who might as well be digging their own graves right now. I'm looking for work.
You want an expedition? Talk to Wenham. I just handle these mercenary shit shovelers. Adventurers, I mean.
Although, I do have something I need done. Something that requires... He glances sidelong at an adventurer flailing away helplessly at a dummy. Competence. What do you need done?
I was formerly one of the Knights of the Crucible. When I left, they kept my arms and armor. The arms they can have, but the armor belonged to my family. I'd like it back.
Why don't you just go ask for it back?
No. Well, they'd like that, I'm sure. But I won't be going. Sooner be torn apart by dogs than give them the satisfaction.
Doesn't sound like leaving the Crucible Knights was your choice.
You don't choose to leave knighthood. The Crucible Knights, they may not be a real knighthood, but the oaths you swear are just as true. Still, turns out that even unofficial knighthoods have politics. You cross the wrong man, suddenly all kinds of accusations are thrown your way, and nobody believes you.
Nothing more destructive than a crowd with a wrong idea. What's this armor?
It's a breastplate. Not much to look at, and it's seen far too much use, but it's been in my family since the liberation.
I'll see what I can do.
Then it's Penhelm you're looking for. A low snake of a man. If he was to die choking on his own black tongue, it'd be too kind of fate. He kept it when he had me kicked out.
I got word from a reliable source that Penham visited a forger in Andra's Gift right after having his soul lineage read by a cipher in Dunrid Row. Should you have it in your heart to find a way to ruin his life while you're there, well, drinks on me. Having his soul lineage read.
It's a requirement to join the Knights. They have to ensure a novitiate doesn't have a subversive lineage. If Penhelm's superiors found out his affidavit was a fake, his career would be over. Every novitiate gets an affidavit from Dunrid Row, and those are stored at Crucible Keep. If you find Penhelm's, one of those ciphers could tell you if it's real.
Sigani scratches the back of her neck. If generations of Masuk's traditions are any indication, this Penhelm probably doesn't remember it. Still, a past like that has to count for something. Farewell. Well, that's something to try keeping in mind. It looks like there's a little more to look through here. Not much, but a little. Sonild.
A simple test. That's settled.
The woman looks up from polishing a dagger. Haven't seen you before. You headed out with an expedition company? Or are you betting with one? How long have you worked at Admeth's Den? She leans on the countertop and drums her fingers. Oh, a few years. I got in the minute the last merchant cleared out. She nods toward the main area of the hall. They've got new expeditions venturing out every week, so this is a great place to do business. And the dozens make loyal friends and loyal customers, so long as you stick by them. The vendor who was here before me, they ran him out when he sold his best helms to a pair of Crucible Knights. I've been careful not to make the same mistake. Tell me about the expeditions. They're groups of adventurers that venture into the wilderness. More than a few of them try their luck scouring the ruins. Most of them come back empty-handed, if they come back at all. Betting on them is almost as risky as actually going, but that's how the expeditions get funded, and every once in a while, one of the adventuring companies will strike it big and make a fortune for their backers. Can I buy something? I'm afraid not. See, the dozens only do business with me so long as I only do business with them, and they're good customers. She jerks her thumb at the door. But if you get on Osric's good side, he can make an exception for you. He's probably training some of the new recruits right now. So we'll be able to buy something from you if we get on his good side. Probably by getting him the breastplate. Noted.
A simple test. That's a simple test.
Tiny bits of experience, always worth it to get.
That's settled.
Alright, that seems to be everything in here. Let's head on out and do some more exploring through the Copperlane district. Alright, made it out of there. Let's head on down here and Lumdala's house. Well, that's a house to look at. See what we find around here. Oh, something to loot. Ooh, a grappling hook. That'll be useful, I imagine. Let's see. Another thing to loot here. Couple more lockpicks. Always good to have those. That leads out, but we don't need to go out anywhere right now. Let's see what's in here. What have we got in here? This painting depicts a famous scene from The Light of Dawn in which the traveler and the ghost happen upon a starving man. We can loot this place, interestingly enough. Interesting. It's almost like there's a room over there.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we need a key in order to get in here. Okay. So, nothing we can do in Ludmala's house. Noted. Okay, let's keep looking around. Looks like over here we have something. The Scrivener's Dormitory. Let's take a look. Let's see. Spilled tea, empty ink pots, and one detailed sketch of a fire-breathing old dwarf are all that remain of a long study session. Corin, who are you?
Good day, stranger.
By Wales' eyeless face, you are one short ogre. But why are you green? And how are you getting the ducks to keep flying around you like that? Let me guess. You smoked a lot of white leaf, or did you get your hands on some snowcap? Snowcap. Snowcap. So few people know snowcap, much less ogres. You're a Scrivener? Yes, I am a Scrivener. I read books, I write books, I once ate a book, but only because it looked like sweet pie. Or perhaps it was sweet pie baked to look like a book. Interesting. Oh, I'm also a collector of herbs, flowers, plants. I sell them. Mostly I eat them. Tell me about the dormitory. It's where the Scriveners who work at the Hall of Revealed Mysteries sleep. I'm a Scrivener. This place smells like old stockings. Show me what you have for sale. So this guy basically deals with drugs, I guess. Which... oh, drugs and plants. Okay, sell that trap over, thank you. Try not to hurt yourself on the trap. The sturdy bunks are topped with thin blankets and even thinner mattresses.
Simple test. That's settled.
Right. Let's see. Thin bunks. Okay, thin blankets, thinner mattresses. Anything else of note in here, or is it just a bunch of Scriveners and a drug dealer? It looks like just the Scriveners and a drug dealer. A rancid stench rises from the basin. The dishes at the top of the pile are flecked with morsels of meat and cheese. Those at the bottom are coated in a slimy fuzz. Yeesh. This is not really a very good place now, is it? I don't think the Scriveners are the best people here. Okay. We've got the Hall of Revealed Mysteries up
Well,
there.
whatever happens, at least we're out of that mud hole, Gilded Vale. I grew up in Gilded Vale. Quaint. That's what I meant to call it.
No, you had it right.
Huh. Okay. So that leads to First Fires. We'll go into the hall in the next episode. I don't know how big it is. Okay, there. We've unlocked First Fires. Yeah, I just want to do some wandering around here first. You were so lovely back then. Who are you? This elderly man paces back and forth, taking short, hobbled steps. His gaze is distant, and beneath it are the dark rings of many restless nights. He appears to be having a conversation with someone who isn't there. And the way you fought, cutting down 2 at a time. We shared quite a victory, you and I. Who are you talking to? The man looks up at you, startled. By the flame. For just a moment I thought I heard her. He puts a hand on his chest, catching his breath. What troubles you? Just the memories of my youth in the Northwatch Ranges. Trials and adventures from a lifetime ago. Of late, the memory of lost battles and fallen friends has been especially vivid. Tell me about these memories. It's been nearly 60 years. We were known throughout the Deerwood then. We thought we'd adventure together forever, collecting coppers and inspiring songs. That was until we faced Helig of Thane. He was a wizard whose experiments in necromancy left a trail of bodies, some reanimated, from Solus Vale to Midwood. We tracked him as he fled toward the Valian republics, catching him just west of the Lake of Drowned Tombs. We were fools. Seasoned as we were not prepared for his foul magic. Our numbers were nothing against his power. A wiser man would have ordered a retreat. Not me. By some curse of the gods, I was knocked out, and when I awoke, my rangers, my Rowena, they were all dead. He holds empty air in his arms. Who is Rowena? My friend, my comrade in arms, and my love. We'd planned to adventure together until we grew old enough to settle down and enjoy our fortunes. Young as we were, we couldn't imagine anything would tear us apart. I know this sounds like an old man's madness, but I hear her, a voice just over my shoulder calling to me in my dreams. At night, I see her wandering the catacombs beneath the city, trying to escape. Foolish as it sounds, I can't shake the idea that she's somehow down there, waiting for me. I've even ventured below, though it damn near cost me my life. Were I half the warrior I was in my youth, I'd search every grave and rat hole. As it is, I'm stuck with this feeble body and the agonizing notion that my love is somehow down there, beyond my help. I'll search the catacombs for a sign of Rowena. Tears spring to the old man's eyes. There's an entrance just southwest of here, on the other side of the canal. You are truly a gift from the gods, if there's anything you can find of her. Well, that's something we can definitely try to do. And I think I see it marked over there. Yep, that leads to the catacombs, so that's somewhere we can explore. Possibly in the next episode. Yep, there it is, the entrance to the catacombs. Not really anything else here. Well, we can unlock another location. Yep, that leads to Brackenbury, which we'll probably want to head to after this area. Gordy! Psst! Over here, miss! A young boy watches a passers-by and counts a grimy handful of coins. His face and arms are smudged with dirt, but except for the grass stains, his clothes are in good condition. As you approach, he blinks and makes a quick, furtive effort to pocket his coins. Hey, miss. Want to know a secret? He wipes his nose with a sleeve. I know a real good secret. Looks like we got a little hustler here. Someone raised this kid, right? Really? What is it? He shrugs and clasps his hands behind his back, kicking a loose pebble. I just saw folks hiding some really neat things. I could show you where, but Mom and Dad told me not to talk to strangers. His eyes slowly roll up at you. But maybe you could help me with something. Then we wouldn't be strangers. Help you with what? Gordy's voice suddenly rises in pitch and tempo. The Crucible Knights have these daggers made out of March steel. It's the best steel around, except for Durgan steel, which doesn't count because no one makes it anymore. He stops long enough to catch his breath. Anyway, there's this merchant over by the expedition hall, and he has a dagger made of real March steel. His eyes grow large and round. He said he wouldn't sell it to me because I'm a kid, and kids don't know anything about daggers. But that's not true. I know lots about daggers. I know about the different kinds of steel. I know how the Crucible Knights make them in a forge. I know that the tip can pierce low-gauge scale armor. The one that's good and sharp can cut through bone. See, I know plenty about daggers, and I really, really want this one. And if you could just get it for me, I'll promise I'll never, ever ask anyone for anything ever again. In Masuk, we begin training our daughters with the hunting knife as soon as they can talk. Many can field dress a hare before their 10th birthday. I wouldn't trust this kid with a butter knife. You'll poke your eye out. You're too young to play with knives. I'm sure your parents told you that, or you wouldn't be asking me. But if I'm going to be a real warrior, I have to start training young, just like the heroes in the stories. I just know I was a great warrior in a previous life. My mom even says I have an old soul. Oh, child. Fine, I'll help you. Gordy jumps up and down, whooping and hollering. I knew a real adventurer would understand. He points to a large building. There's a big merchant over by Admeth's den who sells weapons. He's the one with the dagger. I'll wait right here for you. His gap-toothed grin stretches from ear to ear. Oh, this is probably a horrible idea and a horrible thing to do. Okay. Also, there's this area in the middle. Let's see if there's anything in here. It's possible. Ah, there's Lamdala. The time has come, Sigram. Your life is at an end. Oh, Lafden, she calls to me, the pallid knight. And you have such poor luck with women as it is. I cannot die yet. My children, what of my children? But you have no children. Of course I do, you fool. A wealth of them, great armfuls of golden... That is, golden-haired tots, all of whom I love dearly. Ha! I feel like that's not going as well as it probably should be. The statuesque woman has a gaze that could cut stone. She turns her chiseled cheekbones to the sky and favors you with a look of acknowledgement. Her eyes shimmer under silvered eyeshadow and a razor-precise line of kohl. Before you can speak, she throws her hand up in dramatic fashion.
Well met, friend.
Autographs after the performance, please. Great art requires concentration, and greatness is expected from the revel of stars. What do you do? Oh, that depends entirely on the demands of the role. She lays a slender hand on her chest. I am the pallid knight, the widow of the wood, and the warrior queen Mokka, all at different times. To live a different life each day is a glorious thing indeed, my friend. I suppose I can spare a moment for a fan. What is the Revel of Stars? Oh, we are the finest theater troupe in the city. We believe that the best art is immersive and true to life. She looks at the amphitheater with a rapturous expression. We stage our performances right here in Copperlane for the edification of all. Does the Revel of Stars take in many new members? But of course. Good drama is a balm to the soul, and we wish to offer a true theatrical experience to as many as possible. What kind of members do you take? We'll take in the new and old, the tall and small, the experienced and inexperienced, whoever is best suited to fulfill a role to the utmost. How long do you keep members? As long as they are able to satisfy the demands of their roles. True acting can be a grueling process, so some last longer than others. Alright, farewell. And Kadal. Sorry, I can't talk right now. Okay, fair enough. Oh! I wasn't even
Something over
sneaking.
there.
And we found an oaken scarab figurine. This wooden beetle has had a lifelike detail carefully burned into the carved shell. Tiny barbs are etched onto its legs, and its folded wings bear mazy patterns. Interesting. I guess I can put that into, here, so if we need to summon anything, we can. Alright. One more thing to do before I end the episode. Let's get that kid his dagger. It's probably a horrible idea. I bet it's this guy who has it, Igrun.
Hail and well met.
I'm looking for a particular dagger made of March steel. Just like the Crucible Knights use. Let me guess. You've been talking to that kid, right? Oh, I'd be tempted to sell it to you anyways and let the little rascal learn his lesson, but a pack of adventurers already took it off my hands. If March steel daggers are only given to Crucible Knights, how did you get your hands on one? Igrun pauses mid-polish, his cloth slowing over the blade. A lot of steel passes through my hands, friend. I don't make it my business to ask where it all comes from. Not trying to get you into trouble, but you should be careful about what you trade, and whom you trade with. Trafficking in stolen goods is risky. Appreciate the concern, but there's no need to worry. I keep my nose clean enough. Tell me more about the dagger. He oils the cloth in his hand. Made out of a high-purity iron ore that comes out of the White March Mountains. Traditionally, the smiths at the Crucible Keep have smelted it into daggers and swords, which they only give to the Knights of the Crucible. Of course, I'd be surprised if that kid didn't already tell you all of this. Those adventurers you sold the dagger to, where are they now? Folk like that only visit Copperlane to crew up at Admet's Den Expedition Hall or down a pint at the Goose and Fox. Since they weren't headed into the den, well, you've got my best guess. I bet I know where they are. I bet I know exactly where they are. I'm sure this is something that we can take care of nice and quickly and easily. So let's let the episode go just a tiny bit longer as we go speak with this group of adventurers who is likely on the upper floor that we briefly spoke with before. It's probably these guys. Let me drop a save just in case it gets bloody. Alright, two-tone Weaksel.
Hello.
Did you buy a March dagger from Igrun? He displays the blade on a flat palm. I did, and a fine piece it is. I don't know of any more circulating in the city. Outside the steel in the Crucible Keep, of course. I was trying to get it for a kid named Gordy. He blinks and kicks his feet off the table. A kid? This isn't a toy, you know. Get him a wooden sword. The Orlin woman leans over and punches his arm. Come on, Weaksel. If our friend here is willing to pay, what's the harm? Plenty, actually. That kid'll probably poke his eye out. Besides, I plan to use this dagger. How much would it take for you to change your mind? He turns the blade in the light, admiring it. Seeing as how there's a sudden demand for this, 100 pounds seems fair. Demand isn't as high as you think. Chances are that dagger was stolen or looted off one of the knights. In that case, I'd probably be doing you a favor. Can't be too careful around the authorities these days, especially as an Orlin. Fine, I'll sell it, but not for less than 50. I'm getting my money back at the very least. Deal. He hands you the dagger hilt first. Pleasure doing business with you. Alright, let's run back over to the kid. This probably isn't the best idea, but... let's see. I have the dagger right here. Gordy stops bouncing and stares at it, gaping in awe. It's so sharp! Listen first. When you're not using it, keep it sheathed or it will rust. Don't show it off or someone's going to take it away from you, or worse. It's a weapon, not a toy. Understand? Gordy's hand trembles as he restrains himself from snatching the dagger away. He nods, holding the dagger in its sheath. I'll take good care of it, I promise. So about that secret. Gordy puts his hand up to his mouth and whispers loudly. I saw one of the actors hide something under a loose stone near the theater. Probably nothing as good as March's steel dagger, though. Great secret. I already knew that. Tell me something else. He scratches his head and wrinkles his brow. Sometimes my dad goes to Andra's gift without telling my mom. Someplace called the Salty Mast. Hopefully he's one of those ones that goes there just to talk about his feelings. Oh God, that's cruel. Thank you for telling me, Gordy. Bye. Well, that happened. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here. Next episode, we'll take a look in the Hall of Revealed Mysteries, see if we'll find anything interesting in there, and then maybe take a look in the catacombs. Hopefully, this will all be good. But that'll be in the next episode. So until then, I'm Chester44, also known as Fly. That is Laniara, Adair, Durance, Aloth, Kana, and Sagani. This has been a Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity, and I shall see you all next time.